I'm sorry we fought.
Me too. But we're bound to, though. We're so different. I was just some punk rock kid from Bakerline, and you're Superman.
I'm punk rock.
You are not punk rock.
I like the Stranglefellows and the PODs and the Mighty Crabjoys.
Those are pop radio bands. They're not punk rock. The Mighty Crabjoys suck.
Okay, well, a lot of people love them.
My point is I question everything and everyone. You trust everyone and think everyone you've ever met is, like, beautiful.
Maybe that's the real punk rock.
Season 4.
Season 4.
We made it 4 seasons, although it's only been 1.5 years.
We ended last season with Superman, and we're starting this season with Superman.
Yeah.
And sorry to all of you Christopher Reeve heads out there.
Yeah.
This one is way better.
Yeah, it's not close. I'm thankful that we did that episode and that I was forced to watch closely on The Boring Superman because there's a lot of fun. I don't know if they were intentional or subconscious by James Gunn, but little callbacks to that movie.
For sure.
This.
No, they was very purposeful.
The biggest one to me, the spoilers are beginning, listener, if you... We always do spoilers.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this new movie and you don't want spoilers, what are you doing listening to this episode?
Yeah, it's new on Max as of the recording. So the biggest thing is the ending conflict, and this gets into the conversation that we're going to have a little bit, but the ending conflict being you have to choose. There's a land conflict that is being created by Lex Luthor, or you can save the people that you care about, basically, in Lois Lane in the old one. But this one just does it way better. One, it's obviously there's CGI and stuff, so that just makes it bigger. It's not just like an earthquake. But in the actual decision of it, the character comes into play of how the resolution happens. It's like, you can't be in 2 places at once, Superman. In the original, he's like, yes, I can. Reverses time.
Kind of does it.
Somehow. It's like, oh, yeah.
Kind of is in both
Everything's
places.
possible for Superman. In this one, it's like, you're right. And guess what? My greatest superpower is that I was able to make friends.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind enough to have people that
I
help
care
me.
about. People care about me. Yeah.
Let's talk about Superman and Lois for a sec.
Okay.
This is the best that they've been done, I would say. Let's talk about this. The big battle's over. Time to make out.
Oh, I had this thought as well.
Let's go into a mall. In the middle of the mall, yeah, there's a big crisis happening, but there's also a lot of people around.
We have walked about 20 yards away from anyone.
Yeah.
I'm sure this place is empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my mind goes to, oh, but it's Superman, not Clark Kent. So her and Superman maybe have a relationship. But then I'm like, wait, the whole point of his secret identity is to protect the people closest to you.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here?
Well, and Perry and Jimmy both.
On it.
How long has that been happening?
I was like 3 months.
I think you said maybe the best Lois and Clark we've gotten.
Yeah.
For sure the best Lois in my mind.
Yeah, that's really what I meant.
100% best Lois Lane that we've had in live action. The relationship aspect, I feel like I really enjoyed. I could see people not liking this type of relationship.
Where she's a little domineering?
Well, she was going to break up with him. She's like, I'm not good at relationships. I'm like interviewing you with hard questions. He's more like the doe-eyed, like, oh, I am in love with you.
Mm-hmm.
I should have told you a long time ago. And it's not a lot of romance. It's a lot of like her ribbing him kind of.
True. Which, okay, let's go into a segment because I think this is a good segue onto one of my thoughts. So let's go Rose and Thorn. Best thing, worst thing about this movie. To me, my Rose, like you were just saying, super distinct from each other, Clark and Lois. To me, the best thing about this movie is the character-based dialogue. Every character has a very specific voice, and James Gunn does a really, really great job.
Yep.
This is his superpower, is pulling together a big ensemble cast and making it feel like you're getting just enough from everybody.
Yep.
And so Jimmy Olsen has a very different tone from Lois Lane, who has a different tone from Clark, who has a different tone from the Kents, from Lex Luthor. Everybody, everything everybody says is rooted in their character. And I think a lot of times we get confused whenever a character feels incomplete. We think, oh, there wasn't enough character development. We want more character development, which what we really mean when we say that is like backstory.
Yeah.
Like give me more information.
You want
about
more
this person.
character identity.
Right.
Is what you're wanting.
Exactly. It's like this person feels like at work, you probably don't know the backstory of most people there, but you probably feel like you know them because they feel like real people. In this movie, everything feels very well thought through. And again, I don't want to like compare this movie to a bunch of other movies, but I think a lot of this movie points out what's wrong with Marvel. And we're Marvel guys. We're going to go see everything they make.
Yeah.
But ultimately, at a certain point, every single character just became Iron Man.
Right.
Everybody's, smart aleck and quippy. And I think, to me, the best example of like the writer, which is James Gunn, showing restraint is Metamorpho is like, why are you still gross looking? It would have been the easiest thing in the world if we're in Marvel universe for him to go like, well, yeah, look who's talking. But
And
Superman
you
doesn't
laughed.
do that. Yeah, you wouldn't have laughed. And it wouldn't make sense for the character. Like Superman is so...
He doesn't jab back at people.
Yeah.
I thought of the same when he destroys Ultraman, the clone of him.
Yeah.
And Mr. Terrific's like, quit lying down. We got something to do. And he goes, I'm not lying down. I'm doing important stuff here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's like almost too shy to like say it loud enough to where Mr. Terrific can hear him. But he's like just sweetly kind of like tired of like, I'm trying hard.
Yeah, totally.
Or like Jimmy on the phone with Lois, and she was like, your hot ex-girlfriend's gonna save this, blah blah blah. And he goes, hot?
Yeah.
And you're like, if another character said that line, it's not funny because it's funny because it's Jimmy's character saying it. And James Gunn can write a character. We see him probably one of the least on screen in this movie as any of the characters. And we don't have his backstory. You don't need to know much about Jimmy Olsen. They give you just enough to know about him so that he can say one word, hot. And it's a funny joke because of how distinctly he has been created.
Yeah.
Well, and that goes right easily into my rose, which is the entertainment value when Superman is not on screen.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this movie that he is Clark, or he is trapped in the pocket dimension, or he's like not around in the costume fighting. The entertainment value stays way up. And it's because of someone who's as funny as like Nathan Fillion. It's because of the characters. I mean, Mr. Terrific, for me, almost stole the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, I loved his character.
Yeah.
Anytime he was on screen, there's a very long sequence that's just Mr. Terrific and Lois.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yeah, it's like, this is the perfect beginning to a universe because there's so many characters. Even, like, I want a newsroom dramedy of the Daily Planet. Like, give me an HBO series of just spend time with those characters, following some small-time superhero type, like, mystery or story or something. Like, each character, again, speaks to the writing, feels so full, and you want more. Like, it's a 2-hour and 10 movie, and somehow you're like, I'm ready to dive in with this set of characters, and we don't even have... Really, Superman is the only major superhero in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's ever heard of Guy Gardner. Nobody's ever really heard of Mr. Terrific unless you're a comic fan.
Yeah, don't be insulting all these comic fans out here. We know who these people are.
On the average Joes. It's like Superman and Lex Luthor are kind of it, but like we're going to get Batman. We're going to get everybody. But I'm already like, I just want to, let's just make this our core group, you know?
I think I told you after we saw this movie, when we were walking out of the theater, But I'm a big Batman fan and Justice League fan, and I'm very excited for how this new James Gunn universe is going to build into that. I left this movie being like, I'm more excited for Superman 2 than I am for a Justice League or for a Batman or something else. I wanted exactly what you said, where I left wanting more of like, oh, give me another movie about these people. There is a distinct difference in how the Christopher Reeve Superman or the Michael Keaton Batman or any of kind of those older movies took like, oh, it's a Batman movie. Let's make Batman have all the action, and then we'll connect those scenes by these sort of dialogue-heavy Bruce Wayne scenes.
Yeah.
And in this, it's like all fun all the time, even to a scene where it's like, you know, one of the best scenes in the entire movie that everybody talks about is Lois and Clark. The interview, where Lois is interviewing him. And that is so revealing and draws you in to that room and those characters that like it never feels dull.
Yeah. I mean, again, character-based dialogue, very specifically showing us who they are without being like, Lois, we've been dating for 3 months and I already told you that my parents live in Kansas. It's like, we don't need that type of like explanation. We can feel it from just the way that they do it in this movie.
I do think there are a couple of moments.
Yeah, I will say, so my rose is character-based dialogue. I think some of the dialogue doesn't quite hit. Some of the exposition, like you're saying, doesn't quite hit.
There are a couple of moments for me where the dialogue could have been great, and it's too on the nose that it's just good. Which I sort of get why they do it, but like in that interview, he restates, you know, I've been very clear about this. My planet was destroyed. I'm from Krypton. You know, blah, blah, blah. Like where he just says it.
Yeah.
There's a point when he's fighting Superman and they're giving dialogue back and forth, and he's like, you're just jealous, Lex. And Lex is like, of course I am. Mm-hmm. And then he basically reveals his whole motive in like
their dialogue.
Just, straight up says why he does what he does.
Yeah. Well, here's one. In the beginning, when with the Hammer Bravia fight, somebody in the building is like, it seems like he's memorized Superman's every move, and they're like, he has. He's created 1,200 fight moves just for this.
Yeah.
Or whenever, which I think both of these use the same tactic of like, oh, this person's new, let's explain it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever Superman comes back in the very beginning and the robots are carrying him, he's like, this is 12. She's new. Mm. And then he's like, his parents sent him this message. It soothes him.
Which there's certain ways, like both of those instances feel a little bit better to me because it's one side character explaining to a new side character.
Yeah.
And so you get like, okay, that would make sense. The back and forth with Superman and Lois where she says, you know, I was this punk rock kid, and he's like, I'm punk rock, blah, blah, blah. They talk about that. That felt
Don't
like...
talk down on that.
No, that felt good. That felt like, oh, Lois is a little more rough around the edges, and, you know, Clark is this goody two-shoes. But flip side of that, when she's talking with Jimmy and she's pouring a bunch of sugar in her coffee, and he's like,
it's way too much sugar.
Way too much sugar. And she's like,
I party like a rock star choir boy.
I party like a rock star choir boy. And then takes it, and you're like, because of sugar?
Yeah.
Yeah. And party like a rock star choir boy felt like the not cool kid trying to be cool.
Yeah.
My thorn, so my rose is when Superman's not on screen. This movie is still super entertaining. My thorn kind of results from that, where we have talked about all these great characters. We've talked about how much is in this movie. You're trying to fill in a backstory. It's an intro Superman movie.
Yeah.
It's an intro to the world. It's an intro to the Justice Gang, to the Daily Planet, to Lois and Clark and their relationship. You're introducing a whole lot. So the speed with which they have to move scene to scene is a little bit too quick for me. The pacing And I don't think there's a better way to do it other than to lengthen the whole movie, which I don't think people wanted. If you make this a 3-hour movie, then you can nail the pacing and everything they tried to put in here. So I think they did it the best they can.
Well, I think that they could have chosen to simplify the story, but the thing that people love about this movie is this world feels so lived in.
Yeah.
Like, it feels so full and robust, and like anything could happen. I think about like Captain America Brave New World, you know, it just feels less full.
Yeah.
And so it's a trade-off.
That's my point, is that they did it the best you can do it.
Yeah.
And it is just a means, the means to an end, like the means being, hey, we're going to pack a lot into this 2-hour slot. I get why they did it. If you are trying to really make this perfect with no flaws, there's a couple of things you would have to change.
Yep.
And one of them for me is the pacing, that like you don't really get to sink into the emotions of anything because it moves on quickly. And they spend a little bit more time on his Kryptonian parents moment, on his Earth parents moment, and on him and Lois, which I'm like, you know, those are the things you would need to focus on. So I'm glad they spent a little bit more time there. But in most other aspects, it's like the world is about to end and they're kind of just like quick on to the next thing.
Yeah, agreed. All right, you ready for this?
Yep.
Let's get in it. Listener, if you haven't seen Superman in a while, here is your recap. In a while. It came out 2 months ago.
If you haven't seen this in the last 2 months, what are you doing listening to this? You haven't seen it then. If you've seen it, you've seen it recently.
Yeah. Also, I was going to say, we might be on the same wavelength here.
Yeah.
We haven't done a new movie yet. I mean, we did.
I was going to say, yeah, this is the record right now for the
most recent to release.
Yeah, most recent released movie that we have covered on this podcast. And what a way to start season 4, you know?
I know, and following up that epic Superman episode from last season. Okay, indeed, if you have not seen this in a while, here's a recap. In Superman 2025, Clark struggles with what it means to be a hero when his intervention in a foreign war makes the world question his right to wield such power. Lex Luthor exploits his doubt by unleashing a clone known as the Hammer of Baravia / Ultraman, a twisted mirror of Superman, and tarnishes his reputation. Meanwhile, Lois, Jimmy, and the team uncover Luthor's scheme, showing that truth and community can stand up against manipulation. In the end, Superman must embrace what makes him human. So here we go. And I feel like this movie does a really, really good job of tackling what the critics would say about Superman. You know, he's overpowered. He's not relatable. He's like, what's interesting about him? Because he's so powerful. We talked about this with the Christopher Reeves one too. And I think this movie does a great job of honing in on, hey, here's what Superman's weakness looks like. So we're going to talk about the ways that he chooses weakness, the ways that his circumstances force him to embrace his weakness, and ultimately the embrace of that weakness. So 2 Corinthians 12:9, this is going to be kind of the underlying verse for our conversation. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses so that Christ's power may rest on me.
Alien! That is where you've always been wrong about me, Lex. I'm as human as anyone. I love, I get scared. I wake up every morning, and despite not knowing what to do, I put one foot in front of the other, and I try to make the best choices I can. I screw up all the time. But that is being human. And that's my greatest strength.
The beginning and the end of a movie are really, really important. This is like, you know, I've done a lot of movies, and I feel like the more practice we get in trying to like define what the theme of a movie is, those to me are like the key indicators are what are the first things that happen and what are the last things. The opening of the movie is Superman crashes down. The first image we have of him is him laying on the ground, bleeding. Like, this is a statement that like this isn't an invincible Superman. This Superman bleeds.
Yeah. Which is crazy that you're like, the superhero who they just said on screen is the most powerful of all the metahumans.
Yeah.
And everyone just knows, like, Superman is the man of steel. He has no weaknesses except for one. He is the invincible.
And lead. Can't see through it.
And then, like you said, how shocking it is that you're like, that guy, first thing we see is he is destroyed.
Yeah. And so the first kind of act of the movie is we see the ways that Superman and that Clark makes himself small, the ways that he chooses humility. And so I think about, I need to pull up the exact verse reference, but whenever Jesus says, whoever exalts himself will be humbled, whoever humbles himself will be exalted.
Yeah.
And I think about that dichotomy with Superman and Lex.
Yeah.
I think they make Lex Luthor honestly a really interesting character in this, even though he's very, he's like one note the whole time.
Right.
They give him enough nuance to where you feel like you can kind of understand him.
Yeah.
You know, the whole driven by envy thing, they spell it out for us. He's like, I was the greatest in the world up until a couple years ago. Like, everybody was looking at me as Superman. Now they're looking, he's captured the world's conversation.
Yeah.
And so he is trying to exalt himself back to that status. Superman chooses humility, all the ways that we're going to talk about. And therefore, that's why he's lifted to this place of exaltation.
The most intriguing and entertaining thing about Superman and Lex Luthor in comic books or previous movies is that they are posed as exact opposites of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Superman's alien, Lex is human. Superman is physically strong, Lex is mentally strong. Superman is altruistic, he's selfless, he's for other people. Lex Luthor is selfish, all about himself. Like, everything is different, but they make Lex's intellect and Superman's power almost equal so that they have a rivalry.
Yeah, Superman is so powerful, and what is it that draws us to Superman is that he chooses to use that power for the good of others, to serve others. There's no greater love than this, than to lay down your life for your friends.
Yeah. It's almost as if they did a really good job of making him feel like he was actually raised on a farm in Kansas. It's like if you actually gave Christian Kansas farm boy powers. And we will be right back.
Hey, listener, we just want to take a pause and say thank you for listening. We love getting to do this podcast, and it's listeners like you that make it possible for us. If you're not following us wherever you get your podcasts, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, do it. That way you can stay in the loop every time a new episode drops. If you know anybody who would love this episode or any of the other movies we've covered, don't be afraid to go ahead and share it with them. That would help us out so much, and we would really appreciate it. Thank you so much again for listening.
All right, listener, let's talk branding. Because if you want your brand to actually stand out, you need Anchor Branding Company. These guys are the pros at turning your logo into something people actually want to wear, want to use, or show off. From premium custom apparel and branded merch to eye-catching office signage or more, they do it all. And if you're thinking, I want to get my company's gear out there, but I don't want to pack a million boxes, good news, they can handle all the kitting, fulfillment, and shipping for you. Do you need some new employee uniforms, a killer swag store, custom online shop that people can order from? Anchor Branding Co. makes everything happen. Head to anchorbranding.com to get started today, because if your brand is going to make some waves, you should probably have an anchor. And back to the show. Even to the point of, like, he's walking in the Daily Planet and he's trying to get off the phone with his mom. And his mom's like, we just wanted to say we're proud of you, Clark.
Yeah. I was thinking about that piece, and, his secret identity isn't a secret to his parents. They know. And he just lost his first fight, and his mom is calling to be like, hey, congratulations on the front page.
Yeah.
And so it's like, one
That's
kind
funny.
of,
I didn't think about that.
it a little bit highlights like how Southern people are, of like, we're just gonna like
talk about the good stuff.
Yeah, we don't want to, we don't need to talk about all that bad stuff. But on the good side of that is she's like calling to cheer him up and remind him of like all the good stuff that's happening.
People on social media are suspicious because you are an alien, yes?
Yes. I've been very honest about that from the beginning. I come from a planet called Krypton,
Okay.
which is gone now, by the way. Destroyed, along with all of my history, my parents. They sent me here as a baby to save my life.
Here, where?
I'm not gonna say that. You know I'm not gonna say that.
Okay. What do you know about these biological parents of yours?
Just that they sent me here to serve humanity and to help the world to be a better place.
They said that.
They did. They sent a message along with me. That message is why I do what I do. I cherish it more than anything.
I feel like his whole character is just characterized by humility.
Yeah.
It's like he really could have chosen to be king of Earth and conquered, and nobody could have stopped him. But instead, he's the servant of all.
Mm-hmm. Proverbs 3:27 through 35, I won't read the whole thing, hits on a lot of these things that we've already discussed about Superman. It's talking about how God views these things. And it says, do not withhold good from those to whom it's due when it is in your power to act. A little bit later, it says, he mocks proud mockers, but shows favor to the humble and oppressed. It says, God mocks the proud and shows favor to humble. All these things that we're saying for Superman here, he's like, he has chosen the path of humility. I'm just here to do good. I'm trying to help. Lex is doing the opposite. He's like, everyone needs to be recognizing how great I am.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a... I love that the hero and the villain are set up the way that they are, because so much of movies in general is like the antagonist is kind of just the antagonist because they're opposed to our hero, but we can see their motive and we can see who they are, which we can't... I mean, it's not like we can't hear, but it's like the bad guy is bad and our good guy is good because of pride and humility.
Yeah.
It feels like such a perfect example of the first shall be last and the last shall be first.
Yeah.
Like Superman has the ability to put himself first. He chooses to put himself last. Lex is the opposite of that. It's a choice. In this section of the movie, his humble demeanor is something that he is opting in on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we talked about, we're focusing on weakness as strength. That is something that each of us has the ability to choose, is looking out for others above our own self, not paying attention to our own status, our own glory, but instead just looking for the best for others, loving other people.
Yeah. And talking about Superman's weakness as strength being, you know, kind of what we're getting towards of his humanity is, you know, at first kind of seen as this weakness. He's naive. He's trying to help people. That causes problems in this other country that he, you know, acted on. He's like not able to fully just be removed and kind of make the hard decisions. He's trying to save every single person, man, woman, and squirrel.
Yeah.
And so that is kind of viewed as a weakness.
I think our quote unquote weakness is really just the perceived weakness. Ultimately, being seen as weak in the eyes of the world is forgiving those who hate us.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why don't you just stand up for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, I'm choosing humility. I'm choosing to love my enemy.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
What's the skinny?
Its hide is tough, but it's off balance. I've been trying to figure out a way to get it out of here alive. Get it someplace where we can study it.
Oh, come on, man.
What?
whenever Superman is in the pocket dimension,
Yeah.
we see him brought to his lowest, not his lowest, but he's like,
No,
he's
Lois
back.
isn't in there.
She is eventually. Superman's at that point. Lex is, torturing him. He kills this really acquaintance, not even friend, but this guy that, Superman cares about everybody.
Yeah.
And so him expressing that weakness whenever he's like distraught over Molly the falafel vendor, Superman expresses his pain, and that's what allows Metamorpho to empathize with him. And he's like, puts away the kryptonite and is like, let's get out of here, basically. That's what brings them together. And so that's just another example of whenever we allow ourselves to not reject our weakness, it can bring unity between people specifically. Check out our Inside Out episode. And part of Superman's greatest strength is his ability to make friends, and ultimately that comes into play later.
Yeah. His humanity of caring for that guy and just having a heart, having a normal reaction to seeing someone killed in front of him is the same reaction that Metamorpho is feeling. And so he realizes, oh, hey, me and this other guy who are both trapped in here are the same.
Yeah.
And I feel like kind of what you were saying, when others see our weakness, you know, our sin, our lack of power, and then can see what the Lord has done in our life, that is what draws people to Jesus, not the other way around. In Romans 3, it says, none is righteous, no one does good, for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God.
Yeah.
So like, if you are a human being, you have sinned. That is part of who we are. And so our strength comes from recognizing that and recognizing that we need someone else because we can't do it.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, a step even beyond just recognizing it, it's like relying on God to be the one who changes us. It's not our own selves. It's not our own identifying, oh, there's a problem here. It's like, there's no solution that we're capable of.
Yeah.
It's like, lean on God.
If someone's listening and they've never heard that, what does that actually mean to do practically?
Yeah. Ultimately, I mean, you tell me what you think. To me, it's like, one, make that recognition, and two, pray. Like, I think we make things a little bit more mysterious than we need to. Talk to God about it. If that feels, if it feels weird to pray out loud, like, write it down. That's my prayer method, is like journal and talk with God. Like, and then the next step is don't do it on your own.
Yeah.
If you, as you're recognizing your own weakness, that can cause a lot of emotions to stir up, make sure that you're plugged in with other believers. Like, that's such a way that God works, is through his body in the church. And so if you're not plugged into a local church, find one and get in a small group, get in a room where you can talk about these things, where you can say, hey, I think the weakness that I see in myself is here. And if that feels kind of humiliating, it's like, humility is the goal, you know? And so, yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say recognizing, oh, I am not good enough to save myself from hell, to save myself from sin. So daily remembering that, recognizing that, and that God loved you enough to save you from that.
Yeah.
That it's not this doom and gloom message. It's this great message of, oh, I'm not good enough, and the person who is good enough loves me.
Yeah.
And saved me from that.
We love you more than heaven, our son. We love you more than land. Our beloved home is soon to be gone forever.
But hope vitalizes our hearts, and that hope is you, Khaled. We have searched the universe for a home where you can do the most good and live out Krypton's truth.
That place is Earth.
I don't get it. What's bad about that?
The people there are simple and profoundly confused. Weak of mind and spirit and body. Lord over the planet as the last son of Krypton.
Dispatch of anyone unable or unwilling to serve you, Khaled. Take as many wives as you can, so your genes and Krypton's might and legacy will live on in this new frontier.
Do us proud, our beloved son. Rule without mercy.
What about all the kind acts Superman has performed over the years, saving countless lives?
No, he's grooming us, lulling us into complacency so he can dominate without resistance, forging a path for his superpowered descendants to rule the Earth. I will not accept that. Will you?
You seem upset.
I'm I'm scared. I will admit that. I am scared. Because who knows how large his secret harem is already.
Essentially, who Clark, what he thought of himself is challenged.
Yeah.
You know, basically that he says in the interview with Lois, that video is why I do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
It is the thing that I cherish more than anything in life. Turns out it's not what he thought it was. Like his circumstances change. What I really enjoy about this movie, and I know it's controversial that, you know, Jonathan Kent isn't dead and that Jor-El is not the one who's this great, you know, guiding figure for Superman, but I love that they reverse it.
Yeah. I think that specific conflict will become less controversial as time goes on. I feel like we're used to seeing that in movies. And I feel like in theaters, people were like annoyed by that. I feel like as time goes on and this movie becomes more mainstream, people aren't going to care about that.
Yeah. You know that I liked it from night one. I mean, essentially, we talked about it in the old Superman episode, last episode, months ago. Essentially, Jor-El is meant to be God and Superman is meant to be Jesus in the old one. And it's like super on the nose. And this one, I think for our conversation, Jonathan Kent kind of serves as that God figure to Clark's us, a human.
He's his guiding light.
Yeah, he's
the one who's setting his direction.
Yeah, it's like what does Clark do when he's at his lowest point, whenever he's dying? They bring him back home and he talks to his dad. Like, that's what we can do. Whenever we're at our lowest point, what is going to be the thing that sets us back on the course? It's spending time with our Father.
It's almost him going, it's almost, Jesus going to the garden to get away from everything and pray.
Yeah.
Like where he's going by himself to be with God. Whereas like in the middle of the action, right before the climax, they take this pause where he goes back to the farm and it's just him and Jonathan Kent sitting on the porch, which I really enjoyed how they did the like real hometown, Southern sounding farmers.
I know people didn't love it, but I mean, in the conversation with Pa, he gives him perspective, powerful moment, and that gives him the perspective that he needed. And this moment of weakness allowed him to rely on his dad. That's the big takeaway for us, is like our circumstances are going to be imperfect because of sin. We live in a world that is broken, but we have hope that we have a God who loves us. He loves us enough to save us. For those of us who are in Jesus, whenever our circumstances are imperfect, we can lean on him. It says, cast your burdens on him. And the verse that we read at the beginning, like, his power is made perfect in our weakness. Our weakness is our greatest strength because it allows us to rely on him. And that goes for those who are not in Jesus as well, because if you rely on Jesus to be the one who makes things right for you, if you accept the free gift of his death on the cross as valid for you, you are able to tap into the greatest power in the universe, not for your own benefit, but so that we can be made right with God and we can walk with God and we can be whole and full. I love that image in this movie of them sitting on the front porch. He's got the coffee, he's got the flannel on, and
Clark's eating cereal.
He's eating cereal. It's like, that's such a real, like, he looks like he's a young adult, came back home and
he's home from college.
Yeah.
But you don't seem quite yourself.
Yeah, well, the message that my parents sent with me, I had never heard the second half before.
Well, I'd say what you wanted that message to mean says a whole lot more about you than what anyone meant for it to mean.
Oh, you don't understand. I'm not who I thought I was. They sent me here to hurt people.
Parents aren't for telling their children who they're supposed to be. We are here to give y'all tools, help you make fools of yourselves all on your own. Your choices, Clark. Your actions. That's what makes you who you are. I'll tell you something, son. I couldn't be more proud of you.
It's when he's truly defeated, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, where he's like, I don't know who I am, that he's sitting, being open with his dad about that, being honest, being vulnerable, and saying like, hey, I am not who I thought I was. Like, I'm at my lowest. That's when his dad is right next to him.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad is able to speak into that
Mm-hmm.
and to actually lift him up. Whereas the previous conversation, again, he's far away. Dad just says,
Whittling
don't
something.
be a stranger.
Yeah.
But when he's actually honest about his weakness,
Yeah.
I don't know who I am anymore. He's like, no, here's who I know you to be. But to lift each other up, we have to be open about our weaknesses with one another so that the Lord can lift us up, so we can put our pride away and let him do the work, but also so that other people can speak into it and encourage each other, and brothers and sisters in Christ can care for one another in that way.
Yeah, and I mean, I would just tack on that too. Like, I feel like this is what I've been learning in the season that I'm in. If you feel like you've already done that, like this is a daily bread situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like this isn't
a one and done.
It's not like you do the work and then you're healed and then it's automated from there. It's like this is something you show up to the table every single day. You get back on the front porch with the cereal bowl
yeah,
and like talk to your dad, because like, yes, we're being sanctified, we're being made holy, but we're never the finished product.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's the big takeaway. Like he allows his weakness to drive him to his father, and then at that point he has the strength he needs to go finish the job.
Yeah.
And ultimately in that final act, like we mentioned earlier, it's the friends he's made along the way that help him save the day. It's the Daily Planet gang, and it's the Justice Gang plus Metamorpho.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to choose, I can save this or I can save this, because the way that he's carried himself with humility, he's able to ultimately, save everybody with his friends.
And vice versa. Lex Luthor, the way that he has treated people so cold and distant is what leads to his downfall.
Yeah.
And the same with Ultraman being this clone of Superman.
Yeah.
The human Superman, the one that we see actually be human and vulnerable and have heart and emotion, all this stuff, is completely different from this clone that is not human.
Yeah.
Like, never talks, never does anything on his own, is essentially a robot. And though they have the exact same powers, exact same, physical strength, one is able to beat the other. Like he says, and what we've been talking about, his humanness is his greatest strength.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, this is what Superman is capable of being if he chooses different. He could, if not for his heart and his humanity, could be that guy.
Could dominate.
Yeah. I really love this movie. Again, obviously, he spells it out in the end and he says, I screw up all the time, but that's being human and that's my greatest strength. Again, just emphasizing this theme that our weakness is actually our strength. And in our context, when we rely on Jesus. So, yeah. And again, it's the perfect answer to the eternal Superman criticism of he's overpowered, he's not interesting. Like, it's really not even a nuanced take on Superman. Like, he's still just all good.
Yeah.
But they put him through these circumstances that challenge that in a way that's interesting.
It's beautiful.
All right, man. Hey, excited for season 4. We've got some awesome ones ahead.
We have some great movies slated. Stick around for season 4 and all of the fun episodes that we have coming up.
And buy your merch.
Roll credits.
Don't forget to follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts and on Instagram at The Credits Podcast. If you know someone who would love this episode, go ahead and shoot it to them in a text. If it doesn't brighten their day, it'll certainly brighten ours.